Be quiet, listen, be still. After the wind, after the earthquake, after the fire, there was a still small voice calling my name, calling my name. Still and small like a whisper, but it changed everything. A still small voice,
a still small voice.
I was looking for God in the big moments, the dramatic, the loud, the overwhelming signs. But he wasn't in the earthquake shaking my foundations. He wasn't in the fire consuming all my time.
He was in the quiet, in the space between the heartbeats, in the early morning before the day began. Elijah heard it on the mountain after all the noise died, and I heard it too when I finally learned to stand still. We live in a world that celebrates the thunder, the spectacle, the viral, the loud and proud display. But God's most intimate conversations happen in the quiet that we run from
every day. After the wind, after the earthquake, after the fire, there was a still small voice calling my name, calling my name. Still and small like a whisper, but it changed everything. A still small.
1 Kings 19, Elijah ran, he was done. Thought he was the last prophet standing under the sun. Lay under a juniper tree and said, Lord, let me die. But an angel touched him twice, said arise, the journey's wide. He went 40 days, the whole rib on the strength of that meal. Stood in the cave and said,
what am I even doing here still?
Wind ripped the mountain apart, earthquake split the ground. Fire fell from the sky, but God wasn't in the sound. He spoke in the silence, a gentle, still, small voice. And that's when Elijah knew he still had a choice. Detroit built me loud, but God speaks in a low frequency. When the chaos cools, that's where he speaks to me. Sometimes the loudest thing God does is whisper your name. A still small voice carries more power than the flame.
When everything gets loud, when everything gets loud, and you can't find your way through the noise, be still,
and you'll hear it.
A still small voice. Still small, calling your name, calling your name. Still small voice, calling your name. Still small voice. After the fire, after the fire, calling my name. Still small voice. After the fire, calling my name.